Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Armed Forces Community Covenant Signatories panel. Before I start on the agenda, I'd like to introduce in the room, if we can. So I'm Councillor Wendy Lewis, Armed Forces Champion, and the Chair to my left. Can you put him?
Yeah, I'm Andy Millership from the Poppy Factory covering South West Wales.
Victoria Williams, Clinical Lead for Veterans, NHS Wales.
Natalie Ellis-Burt, Employment Consultant, White Ensign Association.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant Commander Andy Davis, HMS Cambria. We're also representing Hugh Williams today.
Hello, Dave Price here, Event Manager for Swansea Council.
Good afternoon, Paul Smith with the RV.
Tony Strutt from V8 as well.
Margaret on behalf of Swansea Veterans, standing for Wayne Jenkins.
Colin Johnson, Chairman, Royal Naval Association, Swansea Branch.
Stephen Tapper, Royal Naval Association, and also standing in for Phil Flowers today.
Spencer Martin, Lead Officer, Swansea Council.
As Borzan from Democratic Services.
Thank you all. Agenda item 1, apologies for absence.
Got a few, Chair, from Captain Hugh Williams, Air Commander Woods, Ella Fortune, Adrian Leslie, Helen Buckley, Wayne Jenkins, and Deb Lewis.
Thank you.
Phil Flower, sorry.
Thank you. Agenda item 2, disclosures of personal and prejudicial interest. Anyone? No. And agenda item 3 is the minutes. So I presume you've all read them. And they're okay. Okay, thank you. Agenda item 4, Regional Armed Forces Covenant Liaison Officer, Finola.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Councillor. Apologies I can't be there in person, and I've got a slightly squeaky voice, but I didn't want to spread my germs.
I'm glad about that.
Last week I attended the Our Community, Our Covenant launch by FIMT of this year's research. It was very, very interesting, I have to say. And it came up with they've done 5 case studies this year, including one which was in Cardiff in the Vale. The research is a series of papers that's been commissioned by Forces in Mind Trust to examine the Covenant's delivery and how it can be improved. The case studies, as I say, there were 5 local authorities across the whole of the UK, one of them being Cardiff in the Vale. The core infrastructure for the Covenant delivery are the individuals, which are elected member champions, and an officer as a point of contact, collaboration, an outward-facing forum, and a mechanism for collaboration with partners, which is what we've got today, and communication, a web page with key information and links, a clear public statement of expectations, a route for raising issues or concerns, training of all frontline staff, and the production of an annual report with key actions from local authorities. An action plan that is monitored and reviewed, regular policy reviews, enthusiasm and commitment. Looking at the case studies, some of the things that were pulled out were to have, where possible, a dedicated Armed Forces lead officer, which will include part-time roles that should establish to ring-fence capacity for Covenant-related activities and to coordinate existing support in different departments. Where multiple local authorities face similar demands in relation to Covenant delivery, Regional coordinators can be appointed to cohere covenant delivery, align activities with local and regional priorities, and avoid duplicate effort. In urban areas with a significant and concentrated armed forces community presence, these can be improved with a local hub, improving accessibility and to streamline covenant and related assistance. Where local areas have a modest or significant armed forces community presence and lack of informal community support services, the armed forces community hubs can be established to supplement formal service delivery by providing a dedicated space for armed forces community members and socialised signposting. The recommendations are raising awareness and improving understanding of the covenant, planning, monitoring and evaluation, collaboration and engagement, mainstreaming and enabling effective covenant delivery, and future research and analysis. I do have a pack for you, Wendy, so I picked one up for each of the armed forces champions while I was there, and I will get that to you. We also talked about Opvala and its current radio silence, which I know has concerned quite a few people. Apparently, the radio silence is due to background work, preparing for recruitment, writing the job descriptions for the regional field officers, because these will of course be different for the rest of the UK to Wales, as Wales already has its AFLOs. Development in funding to prepare data systems, what options are available digitally and long term, lots long and short term. The big thing will be the data collection, not only asking the question, which I know lots of local authorities do, but actually recording the answers. I was recently requested by the Veterans Commissioner to collate all the information on homeless veterans in my area, and the response I got was very disappointing. So and all this data collection is to improve understanding for the national government. There will be an announcement soon on the development fund for the Opvala hubs. This is to give organisations time to look at the eligibility. However, one thing I do have to say is there will have to be collaboration. Nobody will be even considered unless they collaborate. Speaking out of the meeting to one or two people, at the moment, Wales looks like having only 2 hubs, and it might not even be 2, and that's to cover the whole of Wales. However, that's not written in stone. That was just talking afterwards with the various people that had attended the meeting. Current funding available from the Armed Forces Covenant Fund Trust are Hidden Voices, which is up to £25,000 to enable bespoke mental health and wellbeing programmes. Apart, Not Alone, which is £5,000 to £50,000 in support of serving families. Serving Families on the Move, which is up to £50,000 to improve the quality of life for newly relocated families. And Veterans Capital Housing. This is 75 to 500,000 for the significant refurbishment, extensions and new builds for homing homeless veterans. And that's it from me at the moment. Thank you, Chair. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Finn. Just before you say about questions, are you able to send what you've just said to Gareth? Because I've forgotten what you said the first one. So it's too much to take in on screen. Can you send anything?
Yes, I'll type it all up, and I'll also send you your pack, which has got everything in complete.
Oh, okay, because then Gareth will, well, sorry, Gareth, but you'll have to send it round. Have anybody got any questions for Finn? Spencer got a question.
Hiya, Finn. I did return our homelessness stats. Were they okay?
They were okay, thanks, Spence. It just seems to be we're getting more reports of homelessness than seems to be recorded. It wasn't just it wasn't necessarily Swansea. It's across the whole of Wales we found that.
All right, because I've asked our homelessness staff to ask if they're veterans, but if
Yeah.
they don't say they're veterans, the homeless staff don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know our homelessness team are trying to keep abreast of exactly who has declared that they're homeless veterans. So if I can do anything more, let me know.
Thank you very much, Vincent.
And we've got a bed for the night for homeless. It's a policy that we have to give, you know, a bed for the night. But as Spencer said, if they don't say they're veterans, there's not a lot you can do about that. Maybe they don't want us to know they're veterans. Could be that, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the time,
Oh, sorry.
sorry. A lot of the time, they don't understand why the question's being asked, which I know sounds ridiculous, but sometimes knowing veterans, if they know why the question's being asked and that it's in line with the covenant, you can get a more positive response.
Yeah. Over to Natalie. She wants to ask you a question.
Hello, Finola.
Hi, Nat.
I've been tasked by the RMBT board to give them updates on Op Valor, and I just wanted to ask, you said that Wales is going to look different because we've already got the AFLOs. Does that mean there's going to be no regional field officers in Wales?
No, not at all. We will have regional field officers. They'll just be doing a slightly different job than they would be in England, Scotland or Ireland, because the regional field officer's job is based on the AFLO.
Okay, thank you. And do we have a point of contact for any Op Valor queries, or is it just a case of keep checking the gov.uk website?
Just keep checking the gov.uk website.
Right. Oh, thanks, Fee. Get well soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Finola. Because I can't see anybody else with a hand up on. On to agenda item 5, and it's update from the MOD. Andy, if you'd like to.
Yeah, certainly, councillors. Start off with the senior service, because Hugh's giving me War and Peace to read. So Commander Mike Dalzell, Volunteer Reserve, has assumed command of HMS Cambria as of the 17th of September this year. He'll be appointed for around 2 years. He's looking to attend the festival, he's looking to attend the service on the 9th of November at St Mary's Minster and the parade. Currently, 3 members of HMS Cambria Ships Company are away with the Carrier Strike Group on the Prince of Wales, which is fantastic, and 1 is away with doing stuff around the UK. The Maritime Reserve will support events that are leading up to Christmas, primarily around remembrance, but also supported the events that have happened since the last meeting. I don't intend to sort of list them because we all know what they are. HMS Magpie has been in Swansea since early August, and she's had a few visitors along the way. Lord Mayor's going on this evening now at 1700. We're looking to get some other visitors on. I've just been to see the ship that drops the mail off, high paid postman I am, and she's probably going to sail now this week for tasking they've just been given. And then with another cap that I wear, the Secrets, the numbers are increasing. Upgrades are going to the unit as well, which is fantastic. I'd like to draw everyone's attention because I know there's probably emails with Tom Cowles, who was the previous CEO on there. The point of contact now for anything Secret related is Will Elliott. And I've just shared his email with you. If you could put that on the minutes, that'd be great. Any questions for the senior service? Good. Okay. Army sort of update. So Captain Williams offers his apologies because he's going to a funeral of World War II veteran Mr. Idwal Davis. This most recently, this most recent military support meeting was held earlier, and it's just a sort of pre-say of the events. So 29th of June this year, Armed Forces Day in Swansea, a very well-attended event that was supported by the majority of reserve units and cadet forces. The day started with a very well-attended service in Christchurch, followed parade to the city, to the Copper Quarter, where the special events team constructed a stage for performers to deliver an afternoon of entertainment. A massive thank you to the committee for all their efforts and hard work. The Swansea Council Special Events team and the council for letting it go ahead, and look forward to working again next year if we can. And a special thank you to Tesco, who supported this event wholeheartedly. The air show, another great weekend in the military calendar. A little damp on the Saturday, but Sunday was wonderful. It was great to see the flying displays. Over the weekends, the Armed Forces Day and air show, over £3,000 was raised for the Blind Veterans UK and helping homeless veterans. Once again, Tesco led the way and contributed a further £1,000 to the money raised. This was very well received by both charities. 15th of August, VJ80 commemorations, a wonderful tea party which saw 8 of our World War II veterans celebrated for their efforts during World War II. This again was supported by the City and County of Swansea, and a very big thank you to the Leader of the Council, the Lord Mayor and the Armed Forces Champion of their support in delivering a lovely afternoon in Guildhall. Upcoming events, Remembrance, as we all know. Please note there's a major field exercise taking place in the UK across the Remembrance period that involves all units within the Swansea, Neath and Talbot areas. This will impact the amount of reserves that will attend events across West Glamorgan area. Remembrance events that Hugh was wanted to mention here, the Royal British Legion will brief events, but other events that people may be interested. The 1st November this year, the Mayor of Neath and Talbot Festival of Remembrance being held in the Grand Hall, Swansea University. A star-studded lineup, which the Afro can give more details on as required. The 9th of November, alongside the services in Swansea, there's a parade in Talbot that 223 Squadron will support. A service will be held in Christchurch that morning, the Garrison Church, at 9:15, allowing time for members of the congregation to make their way to the centre for the service there. Currently, 2 members of 223 Transport Squadron are currently deployed overseas in support of UK operations. The squadron is preparing to deploy with the regiment in support of exercise Iron Titan Storm, with our deployment window being the 7th to 22nd of November. Poor planning, in my words. This will see the unit deploy and roll as a logistics transport squadron, delivering supplies to deployed forces across the UK. 1st December, there are Army Cadet Forces from over Glamorgan Street and the Grange coming to the Reserve Centre to experience a series of stands. This is the initial event to which we hope will grow a stronger relationship between the Army Reserve and the Army Cadet Force. We look forward to working with the Swansea Special Events teams in preparing for next year's events that will require military support. If you wish the assistance of the Armed Reserve, and particularly 223 Squadron, please do not hesitate to contact Hugh Williams or via Gareth Bosden, who can help pass on your requests. Any questions, please send to Hugh. Over.
I was just going to say that because you're not going to be able to answer his questions. 2 points on there. One from you about HMS Magpie. I went there 2 weeks ago, and we were the second ones after the cadets. And I've never met such lovely CO on number 2, and they made me cookies, and I did take Jeff, but he wasn't in photos. It was a great experience for such a small ship, and they were so pleased to have us on board. It was like, you know, I'm sure they were going to bring out the wine and the whatever, but it was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I was grateful to Rob Govia for assisting with the meet. The other one is Idwell. I'm so sorry that I'll think of him now upwards too. And I've got a lovely photo of me and Idwell on the VJ. I don't know why I went and had a photo with him. It's really weird when it comes up to these elderly, and he seems so well, and so absolutely gutted that he's gone, but that's the way it is today, isn't it? So no questions? No? Right, Mal, have you got anything to say?
Afternoon all. Just to confirm that Royal Air Force Air Cadets are moving into the busiest time of the year. We've got a considerable number of engagements with remembrance parades. We've a few things in the pipeline coming up over the next 12 months, which could be very positive for the area as regards availability of assets. So we're quite positive. Our numbers are rising at the moment, so we're enjoying it. That's it.
Thank you, Mal. Any questions for Mal about RAF? No? Good off there, likely, Mal.
Thank you.
Next thing, I can see Steve on your too. Are you gonna? Oh, shall I ask Steve? I'll ask him first. Right? Agenda item 6, the Swansea Bay University Health Board Armed Forces Forum. Steve, I can see you on the screen. Do you want to say anything?
Were you just talking to my colleague Victoria?
Yes, I was.
Good. Well, no, she's standing in for our executive lead, Deb Lewis, who's apologised. So I'll hand it straight over to Victoria to give her update.
I knew you were going to say that, Steve, but I did give you the
thank
chance.
Thank you for giving me the chance. Yeah.
Victoria.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Victoria Williams. I'm the clinical lead for Veterans NHS Wales. We offer therapy for any ex-military personnel with military-related mental health difficulties. If you want more information, my contact details are available, and I'm happy to have a chat with anyone that is interested in what we do. In terms of how we've been over the last couple of months, over the last 3 months, we've had a total of 39 referrals, of which 23 have opted in, and we've offered 15 assessments. So currently we're offering 4 assessment slots a week, so we are quite busy. But not everyone who's booked into an assessment slot is then turning up for their assessment, and I think that's the discrepancy. We've got 20 people in therapy at the moment, and we've got 5 people waiting for treatment. No, hang on, is that? We've got. All right, so it's 10 weeks for 10 weeks to wait, and 5 people on our list in total. I'll get my finger, put my glasses on, that might actually help. I guess the main thing for us at the moment is we have recently looked into the Quality Network for Veterans Mental Health Services. So that is run by the Royal College of Psychiatrists. They offer an accreditation for people who are working with veterans. There's only one service in Wales that is accredited with them at the moment, and that is Cardiff and Vale. I have spoken to them about us becoming accredited, and that's something that we would be really interested in, but it's quite a steep fee that you have to pay. So we were looking at alternatives to be able to secure the funding to apply for this accreditation. The Royal College of Psychiatrists did give me the Veterans Foundation, as they offer grants, but because we're part of the NHS, we don't qualify. So even though the NHS is really financially, doesn't have the money for us to do this, we still don't get grants. And I don't know if that's across the board. Wendy, I'm looking at you now. If there's any other way of looking to access any kind of grants. I mean, in the meantime, I've got the referral criteria, to become accreditable, and we are practically accreditable as we stand. We have recently written a patient's leaflet, a carer's leaflet, and we've got a leaflet on all the different links. We're updating the Swansea Bay internet specifically for veterans to put lots of information. So if veterans don't go onto our main website, they can go on to, if they find us via Swansea Bay, we've got our own website now, and we've developed our own SharePoint. So we're doing lots behind the scenes to try and get ourselves more visible. The other thing we're doing is we're trying to get hold of the cluster leads for GPs to come in and update them on who we are and how they can access us. So we're very busy behind the scenes, continuing to offer lots of assessments. Okay.
Great. I'm just on the funding. I don't understand why you it's just maybe I don't understand, because organisations can get funding, council
yes,
gets
yes, can.
funding and grants, so
Because they were saying,
did
because
they
we-
say the reason why?
I can tell you, because we give me a second and I can probably tell you. Because we are an NHS, our funding stream is over 100,000, therefore we don't qualify. But we don't, as we don't get that within our service. So if we think we're little bubbles, we're a little bubble within the NHS, so we don't get nearly, obviously that much. And I think they're offering it to smaller charities.
Yeah, probably.
So it's a real lost, it's a real missed opportunity. But what can you do?
I'm sure you will find something.
I'm going to not give up, because you've got to have a try. So I'm going to be looking at. Then there must be a way. So any pots of money, anyone? Oh, that.
So the Moondance Foundation they used to own Admiral, and they're philanthropists. They kept shares back, and now they give £12 million a year to Welsh organisations. Now, Moondance Foundation, I know, has got a cancer initiative, because cancer outcomes in Wales is poorer than the rest of the country. And I'm wondering, somebody in Veterans NHS Wales needs to look at Moondance just to see if there's any money that could come from them.
I've just Googled them as we speak. So there we go.
Pass on.
Yeah, because they funded the Popper factory.
Did they?
Yeah. And they've done the Armed Forces bikers 60 grand. Yeah.
Simon, got a question?
Yeah, just on the subject of the funding side, I suspect that the biggest problem that you've got is you're falling under public sector, which is excluding most third sector funders, including Moondance. But it might be possible to look at setting up either a bespoke support charity, a kind of a friends of set up, or whether some of the applications could go under existing charities for specific work, depending on their object. But I'd be more than happy to have a chat with you about the situation and see what could be done to get the funding through a third sector route.
I would be really interested in that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon. That's a bit of a silver lining. Hopefully it can be done. Finn?
The other thing is to look at the unions, Vic. All the unions have a foundation. And as members of the NHS will be members of the union, you could try asking the union for some support.
So I'm a part of the RCN. Would that be included? That kind of union?
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. Fee, I'm going to come and ask you questions later as well. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Anyone else? Ask.
Yeah, from a getting the message out there point of view, are you coming through the RNA, RBL, and with leaflets and things like that, so that we can put that out to our members?
I'm absolutely happy to do that. We've done that previously, and we're more than happy to do that again. And I'm also happy to come and give talks. So if anyone wants me to come and do a talk, I am more than happy to come along to any meetings. I did this. Was it the Sea Cadets I did years ago?
No, you've offered the RNA.
Yeah, but anyone wants me to come and talk, I'm more than happy to, because I think it's absolutely, yeah. No, I'd be more than happy to.
Well, that was quite constructive, wasn't it? That was good. That was good. Yeah.
I mean, it's not maybe off the top we talking about, but what is the relationship with the GPs, practices and, your organisation and general veterans, because I get a thing to put your service details on, what service you're in, but then what happens to it? I mean, is there, what is the liaison, what's the link like between GPs and yourselves, and the health boards? Is there,
We have a good relationship with GPs. And so we have recently set up a referral pathway directly to us. I'm trying to get in to see GPs now to let them know, you know, who we are. When you let your GP know that you're a veteran, there is a box they can tick on that data that they hold for you, which says you're a veteran. And then sometimes you'll get GPs, you'll go and see your GP. I was thinking of a story about a veteran I had years ago who went and spoke to his GP about his problems. The GP said, do you think it could be related to your military service? He said, I've got no idea. And the GP said, but you know what, I'm going to refer you to veterans NHS Wales anyway. Turns out it was hugely related to his military service, and we were able to do a really good piece of work, so trauma focused work, and that guy did really well in therapy. So just have that, you know, the foresight to say, oh, do you think it could be? So we have a good relationship. We will always do our best for GPs because we know that they're massively busy with what they know very little time. So we do what we can to support them to take the GP and the veteran straight to us if we can. It's got to be military related. That's the key.
It's worked for many, but I have sent to Victoria. So it does work. It'll work if you want it to work. That's the point. Yeah. Support for children education in Wales. I don't think we have anyone again. So agenda item 8. Update on member. But we have John, who is going to give a little update and ask what they.
Okay, so my name's John Felton. I worked with Tony. I worked with a few months. It's an absolute pleasure to work in his organisation, his charity, and it's fantastic to work with veterans. So just a quick update on what we're doing and how we're going to expand this into the future. So we're continuing our veteran rehabilitation work inside HMP Swansea, where veteran staff and inmates are mentoring others through our novel approach to humanitarian food assistance. Due to the success of this trial period in Swansea, we're now looking to expand this into Swansea Probation Workshop in Talbot, and prepared to start similar work in HMP Park with a newly refurbished workshop to support longer-term rehabilitation and training and to further assist veterans sent from Swansea and Cardiff remand prisons. Through our Veterans in Crisis project, we're sending emergency food, hygiene and further support information parcels to struggling veterans across the UK, from Edinburgh down to Plymouth, all made through the Veterans in Crisis and Emergency Response Programme and with the support of a growing number of donors. Our freeze-dried emergency meals are fully designed and produced by veterans and inmates are nutritious, lightweight, long life and retain almost all their nutrition. We now design culturally sensitive meals, adding bilingual labels. Internationally, we continue to send meals, vehicles and medical aid into Ukraine through V8 volunteers. And we now provide humanitarian support for the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation using specially designed recipes which are to be distributed to those vulnerable and attend the large feeding centres and also medics and patients within hospitals. We're also increasing help locally for groups which support homeless veterans, the homeless, women's refugees, I'm excited about that. So, engaging veterans as mentors, relying on their training and experiences, has allowed us to engage the more vulnerable inmates in our project. For all those we engage of this provide real rehabilitation. Everyone involved works towards accredited qualification in food production, humanitarian, and mental health first aid, give them a genuine path to employment and a sense of and innovation and part. We can see this going across lots and lots of prisons across the whole of the UK eventually. That's what I aim is eventually.
As somebody who visited last month, I was amazed at the work that was done. Obviously, what funding it can only be for anybody in Swansea, not outside, so that would be difficult. But if you ever need help, I'm sure you can ask. It's excellent. I applaud what you're doing, and with the inmates, which are just had me in stitches the whole time I was there. I don't know why some of them are in there and they love being in there. But you work well with them, and I know pick and choose who you think is good and will work with your organisation. So well done from me. So does anybody want to ask any questions of Tony or John? No? Got off that lightly.
Swansea Veterans Hub. Wayne gives his apologies, but we're delighted to share the Swansea official chapters this September. This milestone is already opening new doors, strengthening our relationships with sponsors, unlocking new partnerships, and expanding accesses to vital funding opportunities. 2025 has been a year of recognition, pride, and for our team community. We've been honoured with Pride of Britain funded awards, the Gold Award for Welsh Veterans Award, Best Veteran of the Year, and a CIO charity status. These achievements dedication of our trustees and volunteers. We're deeply grateful to the veteran and local communities who nominated and voted for us, and your support means everything. That said, we are truly humbled by these accolades. They never distract from our mission. Veterans, their families, they'll always come first. As we're heading into the final stretch of the year, our calendar is packed with inclusive, collaborative, veteran community-driven events. We have a Halloween party on the 31st of October at Lando Social Club, a celebration of veterans' families which will be full of fun. We will release details of this evening event again soon, and proceedings will go to the veterans and their families. Please come and join us. You don't need to dress up, you're fine as you are.
It's not true. That is not true.
Escaping Bonfire Night, which is an important part for some members of veterans, is on the 5th of November. The hub will be open from 1700 to 2100 hours. Veterans are feared by loud bangs, flashes, games and a bit of banter, and families are encouraged to attend as well. Remembrance Sunday is on 9th of November, 9:15 at Christchurch. This was requested by many veterans in the meeting in the Garrison Church Hall in March. With the leader of the council, after the service at 10 o'clock, which is coordinated by Swansea Veterans Hub, CIO and Christchurch, will make our way to Secrets, where you can either walk behind the piper, RBL coordinating, or to the cenotaph, go direct, ready for the RBL-led service with a wreath laying. We have a Veterans and Families lunch on the 23rd of November at Fairwood Golf. It's £12.50 a head and £3.50 for a dessert. This is just starting to get back up purely for veterans on a Sunday. We have a blind veterans charity party on the 28th of November, a festive event dedicated to our blind and partially sighted veterans, to be held in the Garrison Church Hall, organised by Swansea Veterans Hub. We also have a Bath Christmas Market Day Out in Bath, strange enough. We have a coach leaving from the rec car park at 8:30 and returns from Bath at 15:30. It's £10 a head for the day out in Bath. There are a few spaces left on the coach, so if you'd like to join us, if you go to info@swanseaveteranshub.org.uk. We also have a carol, concert and Christmas party on the 20th of December at the Garrison Church Hall, a free event for veterans and families, featuring carols at the Garrison Church and a buffet by the Crazy Baker, which is not to be missed, and some entertainment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ian. That was great. A lot of events going on and some to help the veterans. Has anybody got any questions for that or anything they'd like to say? Rick?
Can I just say, I think what you're doing is brilliant. I love the Swansea Veterans Hub and the Bulldogs and the Swansea RV, and I will always signpost people to you. I've signposted someone to you today, in fact, and I talk about how great you are and how supportive you all are and what a great job you do. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's very much appreciated.
I just think we are lucky to have so many hubs, clubs, whatever. I mean, you know, the cold water one is I did do it, didn't I? I did do it. Yes, I think we are blessed to have, so veterans got support whichever one they want to go to, whatever what they want to do. Do you want to say anything about anything?
Yeah, just an update with the RV at the moment. We've been lucky to get the use of one of the huts down in Langland. So it means now our veterans, when they come out of the water during the winter months now, they'll be warm. We have applied for funding to see if we can get stuff in the hut to kit it out for us, because it's a bit bare at the moment. We've had 2 new veterans join us. One was from Saturday night, because we had quite a few of the RV were invited to the Welsh Guards rugby veterans evening with Andy Powell, which was a really good night, I must admit. Also, another veteran then was referred to us by you, Victoria. Yes, yeah. He's been to the Model Club. Yeah, yeah. And he's signed on to the WhatsApp group with us as well now. So that's a positive. We're due to go into the next phase now of the cold water immersion survey with Swansea University. This part of it now will be blood tests, and the idea then is to find out if cold water immersion can be used as an additional therapy for people with PTSD. I was recently approached by That's TV Swansea Bay for an interview with them to highlight what the RV are all about. It wasn't just about the RV, it was about veterans in general. So I did a little speech for them explaining that veterans shouldn't be just sat in their home. You know, they need to come out, join us, and it's good to talk about it. And with the hubs that we've got, gives you the opportunity to talk to them. And also, we can have another interview with them, but this time I've coerced Phil Jones to talk to his part of it now about the immersion part of it, whereas the hub do a lot of coffee mornings for gentlemen and ladies. Phil is the expert on the cold water immersion side of it. And lastly then, 8 of our RV will be marching at the Cenotaph in London this year. Thank you.
Well done. And I can't see that the water immersion thing will not get the okay, because it worked for me and I haven't got PTSD. It was just, I went in my swimming costume and I'm scared of the water, but when I came out after doing my dip, the euphoria I felt, and I didn't even want to dress. And I'm just thinking it's in me because I can't stand being wet. But I think it will work, and it does work because I spoke to many of them there. So I'm hoping that it will all be recognised, because I think it's amazing. As I said, you all deserve a clap of me for all you do. For all you do for everyone. And it's like, it's not only the veterans, we have to include the cadets, we have to, like the cadets, when you see those youngsters, maybe some who are quiet and shy and got issues, to see them coming up and being that bold person and standing in front of you and shaking your hand, and I just think, and then that follows on to the veterans, and it just like, I'm amazed at everybody. So well done, everybody, from me. So is there anybody else? Yeah.
Hello. The Model Club, is that still in Morston Fire?
Yes.
On a Tuesday, is it?
It is, yeah.
What time is it?
6 till 8.
6 till 8. And can just any veteran turn up?
Yes, and then we can also then sign you to models for veterans, and they will send you then a big box of models and paints and everything. models and paints and all the kit you need to get yourself going. And then you've got the option then of coming down with us then to, just sit there and quietly just make the models, which is great for the well-being.
So you turn up for initial visit and then you contact models for veterans and then you come back with the kit that they supply.
Yeah, but we do have spare kit there and loads of paints anyway, so anybody can come and join us.
And the study with the cold water immersion, especially older females, I'm just wondering, are there female veterans in the study?
No, we're trying to get female veterans to join our club, but nobody's coming forward at the moment.
I wonder why. I mean, I do know it's fact, isn't it, that older females struggle to regulate body temperature more than males, isn't it? And
there are quite a few female clubs. There are quite a few female clubs in Swansea, but not veteran females.
Yeah, bet you are. Thank you for that information for the models. Maybe some of our RNA members might like to go to Morriston to do the models.
Colin?
Just a quickie. You know, as chairman of the Royal Naval Association, we've just been formed now 2.5 years, you know, more or less. So we got 106 members have signed up to us or as membership. So, you know, it's quite, in that short space of time, it's quite, yes, very, you know, very pleasing. But, you know, if, you know, you come across naval veterans that you know, would like to join us, you know, and we, you know, we meet once a month in the Sea Cadet unit. We have a good social life, you know, people that come together. We're all like-minded people. And, you know, if we can be help, you know, especially with the naval veterans, obviously, then Natalie's our welfare officer, you know, Andy's our president, Steve, myself. So we've got a good team down there and, you know, send them along to us and, you know, we'll welcome into the family, which would be nice. You know.
And that is true, because I go. Only thing, they might ban me next time from winning raffles, because I won 4.
Yes, but you were very generous with one of them.
I was. I gave 2.
I just want to add to Colin's, our chair's piece there. It's not just for naval veterans, it's for anybody that's got a naval connection. Like, for instance, our secretary, she's a civilian working for the NHS, but her son, who's our youngest member, actually, he's 18 or 19 now, isn't he? And because he had such a good experience with the Royal Naval Association mentors in HMS Raleigh, she was so impressed. She seeked us out, didn't she, Col? And now she's a brilliant asset to us as our secretary. So it's anybody with a naval story. You don't have to have served. If you've got a connection, you can become an associate member and we would welcome you with open arms. We're all about friendship, fun, and comradeship.
Just to expand on that, you don't actually have to have a Royal Naval connection with it. We'll accept anybody. So we'll take RAF, we'll take Army, we'll take a lot. Like, yeah.
Well, I don't like that. They'll take anybody. You took me, so I mean, I don't like that. Andy?
And Councillor Lewis tried the first rum last week. You enjoyed it, didn't you? In HMS Cambria. So that might be a tradition now, Chair, that the Armed Forces Champion has a rum every meeting. Jeff driving.
Thank you all. It's been quite a productive meeting and
can I just say on behalf of Phil Flowers on the Poppy Day appeal going forward before we finish. So he's saying that all events are covered and organised. So that's heard about the Remembrance Sunday and all the rest of it, but we're still looking for support on selling the poppies. I know that we're short on one. We haven't heard back from the cadets apparently whether they're the Army cadets, whether they're going to cover the same supermarkets that they did last year.
Oh,
they've been in sort of contact. It's Kelly
Jarvis.
Yeah, Kelly Jarvis, who's in charge of it. I was with her this morning and she's saying the only people we haven't heard back from are the Army cadets and whether they're going to cover it or not.
It'd be worth reaching out to Jeff Prothero. He's covering off the Army cadets again at the moment, rather than Kyle.
Right. So, she did say that there were some communication problems from last year that were different.
So Jeff is the point of contact for now.
Is he? Can it, I don't know whether
I've got his email address somewhere. I can share it.
Yeah, that'd be great. And he was asking whether there were any councillors that were available to maybe go and do a couple of hours outside places.
I go to
I
the
know.
market 2 weeks,
I know.
so I will be going there nowhere else.
Yeah.
I
But
love going in the market with the
if
old
there
wife.
are any more, it would be most
Yeah.
appreciated. And apologies for not making the meeting.
Kelly online.
Thank you. I was just going to introduce myself and tell you where I'm from, but I also have the luxury and the honour of being a Cadet Force adult volunteer, and Jeff is one of my co-workers in the Army Cadets, so he's sort of OC for Swansea area and I'm OC for Carmarthen, so I'm happy to pass that along, that feedback, and G up a response. But I'm here in my capacity as the Armed Forces Ambassador for the University of Wales, Trinity St David. I'm fairly new in taking up like the voluntary role for it, and obviously my connections are the reason that I did. And I just wanted to give you a really short update on what we've sort of developed over the past few months. The university, so myself and in conjunction with some of the academics, we've developed an Armed Forces Academy. And this Armed Forces Academy is open to all of our Armed Forces community, including family of, and that's cadets, reservist, veterans currently serving. The main link we have is the E-Class. I don't know if anybody's heard of E-Class. I might not even be saying it right, it might be E-Class, but every time I say it like that, I feel like I'm talking about a BMW or a Mercedes or something. But it's an enhanced learning credit scheme which promotes lifelong learning for members of the armed forces. So there's financial support available for a maximum of 3 separate financial years to achieve qualifications at level 3 or above. And one of our first steps in that was promoting the Armed Forces Academy at our welcome down our SA1 campuses. And through that collecting some of our current staff and student members that are sort of members of that armed forces community. So when we have more time, I'd love to tell you more about it, and I'm happy to send information over, Chair, if you'd like to have some more.
Thank you, Kelly. That'd be good if you could send information for how people can get in contact, and veterans or so whatever, whoever you take on, if you can give us some info.
Absolutely, no problem. Yeah, Gareth, no problem.
Thank you. Do you want to say anything?
Just very briefly, the Poppy Factory now have a navigator service in Swansea and Newport Talbot area as well. Navigators work with veterans who have injuries, physical or mental injuries, but who are not ready for employment. So dealing with barriers, might be homelessness, might be social isolation, drug issues, alcohol issues, whatever it might be. And they got a 6-month face-to-face program with them. Newly started, as I say, in Swansea, Newport Talbot. But the guy who's running it, he's not new to the job, he's just new to the area. And so if anybody wants any information about that, then by all means use the email, get in touch with me, and I can make that contact for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mind me asking, where's that based then?
Swansea, Newport Talbot, Cardiff and Vale, pretty much everywhere. He covers everywhere from Swansea up as far as Torvine and Gwent, but Swansea's going to be his main focus.
Is it a base then, or is it from your home, or the
Yeah.
actual home? From the actual home?
Yeah.
Thank you.
For you first, or no? I can't remember. What you?
Sorry, just want to do a quick one as well. So I've left my role as a Swansea Council officer, which I had for 4 years. And I'm now back in the Armed Forces charity sector, working for the White Ensign Association. I won't say too much because I understand Gareth is going to disseminate some information I've already shared out to all the signatories, but there's some leaflets here if anybody in the room would like to have a leaflet that's here. And I'm delighted to be back in the sector. And like Colin has said, I'm part of the RNA in Swansea. I'm a trustee for the Royal Navy Benevolent Trust, and I'm still part of the Armed Forces Bikers, but I don't get out on my motorbike as much as I'd like. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions about any of those 4 organisations. Nope, great.
Got away with that one as well.
Got away with that one as well.
Right, thank you very much for attending.
Yeah, can I have one thing before you go, please?
Thank you.
Always ignore me. I'm beginning to take
You
it
didn't
personally.
put your hand up.
I know. A couple of things, if I may. Picking up on the remembrance activity, the police have confirmed they will not be supporting road closures again this year. Whilst they will actively support the delivery of remembrance events, that's not going to include stopping traffic. The positive side of that is the local authority will. The leaders committed some funding to help with remembrance activities and remembrance parades, but we do need to know that they're going on. We've started pulling a list together. We started it last year, but I don't think it's a comprehensive list. I'll include what we've got with Gareth for the minute, if I may. But if you are participating in or are aware of other ones that include a road closure or a march on the highway, then please come back to us with those details. If it's not a legal closure, there's a monstrous amount of liability involved, which insurance doesn't cover. It is a criminal offence to shut the road without a legal order in place, and it does put the people involved in a sort of predicament in terms of the law. This isn't coming as a threat. We're offering to take away that responsibility, but we need to know that where those events are going. We've got the key ones. We've sent out a note in the last fortnight, and we'll go back to people chasing those up in the next week or so and offering what we're able to assist with. But obviously, if we don't know, then we can't offer that assistance. Second thing for me is we've started looking at our event calendar for next year. The leader and the planning committee this morning around Armed Forces events agreed that we will support Armed Forces Day in Swansea next year again with a separate event. It worked really well for us this year. I think it was really impactful. It was well received by veterans and participants alike. So there is already that commitment on the table to work with various interested parties, interested groups in delivering that next year. It is a veterans-led event. It's not a Swansea Council-led event. So it's very much down to the community to deliver it, but we will be absolutely supporting that with the best as we can as per 2025. And the final thing is the Wales Air Show. I know a lot of people participate, be it through voluntary organisations and the like, or have trade stands and whatnot. Just to aid with some planning around that, it is unlikely to be the first weekend of July next year. The date clashes with a number of other things. Armed Forces Day in Wales is in Carmarthenshire next year and is likely to be on that same weekend. And we're also aware that the Red Arrows may be doing a European tour or a tour overseas next year, which may, it's one of two windows that they suggested may clash. And without some of the significant air assets, it's a problem from us. So we are looking at alternative dates at the moment, either towards the end of July or towards the end of August. But as soon as we had some confirmation in that, then we'll share that news. Thank you.
We have some dry weather this year. Regarding the road closures, I know last year when we were laying the wreaths, the main road is still open. Is there any way of calming that down for that brief period? Yeah.
I'll have to take some advice on it because it's a significant road. It has been done in previous years, some time ago. It's not an impossible ask, and I'll ask the question and see what comes back.
Much appreciated, sir.
Thank you, David. I think the Armed Forces Day worked. It was a long day, but it worked. And I think veterans worked together, which is what I've always asked for. Not for you all to be individual, but you all work together, and it worked really well. It was a really good event, and hopefully it will go again. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the air show to be the end of July, not the end of August, because it'll be raining the end of August.
We will ask Sheila not to sing us, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you online. Thank you so much. Thank you.